Hello and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Miss Kirscht and this video is specifically about chemistry class. All right, we have 4 things on our agenda today. Number 1, an introduction. Number 2, a course overview. Number 3, fuel ed. And number 4, your student's schedule. I threw in this quote by Marie Curie, who is a famous chemist and physicist, and she said, "Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so we may fear less." I think this quote really fits into our current time. So yes, this is what we need to do, work on understanding. Okay, here comes a brief introduction of myself. All right, my name is Sophie Kirscht, and I taught chemistry and physics at Wilsonville High School for the last 2 years. I am now teaching in the online program because I feel that we can do better than what we did in the spring. And I'm really excited to explore this online learning with your students. I've been teaching high school for over 14 years now. I grew up in Berlin, Germany. And I love camping, skiing, traveling, and spending lazy days with my partner, Kevin, and our 2 kids, Hans and Nika, and our dog, Almond. Okay, you can see Almond here, and you can see Hans and Nika in the boat with me in Amsterdam. We had so much fun there last summer. We rented an electric boat and navigated the entire city by boat. I highly recommend it. And I also included a picture of us skiing last winter at Mount Hood, before everything shut down. Yeah. All right, a course overview. So we have 7 units, really it's just 6, in this quarter. Unit 1 is what we're in right now. It is called the study of chemistry, and really it's an introduction. The second unit is called atomic structure, one of my favorites for sure. So in atomic structure, we'll be talking about the parts of the atom and their significance to chemistry. Unit 3 is all about the periodic table. We are going to identify trends in the periodic table, and we will learn to use it as a kind of a map. So when we look at an element and we find it on the periodic table, we will be able to know some of the characteristics of that element by where we can find it in the periodic table, by its location. Unit 4 is all about chemical bonding. Why and how does chemical bonding happen? Unit 5 is all about chemical reactions. So what happens when 2 or more substances react? Unit 6 is called stoichiometry. Curious word, but all it is calculating the reactants and products of a chemical reaction. And this is where we get into some math, mostly algebra. And the 7th unit really is not that much of a unit, but it basically is a semester review and then the semester test. All right, fuel ed. Okay, the flow of the units in fuel ed. I briefly wanted to talk about that. So usually a unit starts with a reading. And this reading may include a study guide that you will need to fill in. It also probably includes videos, simulations, and other fun things. After the reading, you will usually be completing a lab. In the lab, students test out what they have learned in the reading. The third part of each unit is usually a discussion post and 2 or 3 replies. I think it's 3 replies. And in the discussion post, students discuss their lab findings. So it connects back to the lab. The fourth sub-thing in a unit, is usually some kind of assessment, a quiz or a test. And the fifth thing that happens is beginning of the next part of the unit. So usually a unit will be subdivided into smaller parts, and each part has the same flow. Okay, in Fuel Ed, I want to talk about due dates. The due dates are basically a guide. We have to use due dates to pace out the course, but early or late work will not be downgraded. So basically, the due dates serve as a guide to students to know where they should be in their curriculum. Second thing is printing. So printing out study and reading guides can be really, really helpful to students. So if you have access to a printer, go ahead and encourage your student to print out the practice stuff and the reading guides and actually write on those as they go through their reading. Progress. You can check your students' progress in Fuel Ed, which is great. So let's go to Fuel Ed for a second. Okay, so your students will see something like this, a landing page. It should have the Class Connect sessions up here, and the classes should be listed down here. So I am going to click on chemistry right now. And you should be seeing something like this. So up here are all the Class Connect sessions, so our live sessions. Underneath that are announcements. These announcements are important. They are the main communication tool, besides email, that we teachers have. Now let's go to content. Okay, in the content tab, you can see that on the left-hand side, there's a list of the units. And if you click on a unit, you will get all the subunits within that unit. And your student should also see due dates right there. Okay, back to the slides. All right, your student schedule. So right here, you can see I have listed only the chemistry stuff. Everything in blue is for chemistry. So we have a whole group live session every Tuesday. Then we have 5 small group sessions. And my hope for these small group sessions is that kids sign up for a specific session, small group session. And then those kids, there shouldn't be any more than 12 in each group. Then those kids stay together for the quarter and they get to know each other and are hopefully comfortable asking each other questions. Besides the whole group session and the small group sessions, we also have help sessions. And there are 1, 2, 3 of those throughout the week. Those sessions are for anyone to just pop in with questions about anything they're working on. So everyone is invited to the help sessions. And your students have this schedule. I linked it in my last announcement from today. All right, that brings us to the end of our slideshow. And let's talk about contact and communication. So email is by far the best way to reach me. I will likely be able to reply within 24 hours, except on the weekends. I'm trying to take those off. And here's my email address. And one other thing I want to mention is the announcements one more time. These are really important for students to read. They should check announcements in each of their classes every day. Okay, that's all I have for today. I hope you found this information helpful. And I look forward to possibly meeting you virtually at some point. All right. Thank you very much.